Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Thank you, pal. Get your mask.
I might need that.
Yeah. Hello, Michigan. It's good to be back. It really is. Think of that. Think of that. All those investments that fuel the strong economy, we've taken our foot off the gas. I don't know what's happened. The world has taken notice, by the way. So it's essential that we regain our momentum that we've lost and the work of our time, it seems to me, those of us who hold public office. Things are changing incredibly quickly. That's why I propose two critical pieces of legislation. These bills are about competitiveness. They're about leading the world or continuing to let the world pass us by, which is literally happening. To oppose these investments is to be complicit in America's decline. Here's what I'm proposing. Across the country right now, 45,000 bridges and 173,000 miles of roads, according to the Society of Engineers, are in poor condition. Not a joke. We're going to make high-speed internet affordable and available to everywhere in America. We're talking about on the way over with Alyssa, that how short the number of people have access to the internet here because of the lack of investment. And let me tell you, our competitors aren't hanging around and waiting to see what we're going to do. They've been pouring billions of dollars into infrastructure and into this training their people for years now. Take China, for example. Now, I've been clear that China uses unfair coercive practices to get ahead of their competitors, but that's not the whole of the story. And employment in the American steel industry dropped by 40%. And it's a big boy. It's a big one. Over 500,000 of them. And by the way, parenthetically, when you build a charging station, it's like back in the day when my grandpa worked for the American Oil Company back in the turn of in the 1920 in that area. They went from state to state convincing people that allow them to put 20,000 gallons of gasoline under the ground. They didn't want them around. But guess what happened? Everything builds up around them. You put these charging stations along there, how are you going to see a significant economic development go well beyond the charging station? And loans and tax credits to boost clean vehicle manufacturing. Look, we have thousands and thousands of abandoned oil wells and gas wells and methane leaks. It's going to help us meet the moment of the climate crisis and do away with, it's going to create good jobs, make us more economically competitive. I was worried about the cooling down. You're worried about whether you're going to have what the Colorado River is going to do. This is a big deal. This is gigantic. Look, we haven't passed a major infrastructure bill for decades in this country. If we get this done, we're going to breathe new life into our economy and our workers, and we're going to breathe cleaner air. And here's the deal. The jobs in my plan are people who too often felt left behind and were left behind, left out. In these bills, in my infrastructure plan, it gave us the best educated, best prepared workforce in the world. That was one of the reasons why America began to grow so rapidly. But guess what? I'll bet if I was on a quiz, you're on one of these quiz shows, I ask you that, you would have said maybe we're 2 or 3 or 4. It's ridiculous. My Build Back Better plan gets us back on track, helping their folks, helping them get through community college or a historically black colleges in order to be able to get a shot. And we'll invest in historically black colleges and universities, which are an essential asset. Look, this bill also invests in our workforce. And the fact is, millions of American parents are feeling the squeeze. My Build Back Better plan is going to change that. It's going to cut the cost of child care for most Michigan families by more than half. This is a tax cut. What it does is, now, and it's in place, and people in your state are understanding it now, instead of it provides it up the ante how much you could get for a child under 7, you get $3,600 tax cut on a yearly basis. And as I said, I was wrong. In Michigan, it's 44% cut in child poverty. My plan is going to put Americans to work constructing and rehabilitating safe and affordable housing to help ease the cost of housing while generating even more jobs. In most of the major metropolitan areas in America, you can't afford the housing. This bill helps us get there in a way that creates good jobs, makes us global leaders of fast-growing clean energy industries, and it's all paid for. And they don't increase the debt because they're paid for by asking the very wealthy to begin pay their fair share. Zero, zero, zero. Hear me again now. A lower tax rate. They made over $40 billion and they paid zero in federal income tax. More corporations are incorporated in the state of Delaware than every other state combined. Companies, I could go on more than that. That's why despite the attacks and misinformation, my plan has overwhelming support in the polling data from the American people. Join the crowd, man. That's what, and notwithstanding some of the signs that I saw coming, that's why 81 million Americans voted for me. It's now time to deliver. Let me close with this. They think democracy is not a joke. My meetings with Putin, my meetings with Xi Jinping and other leaders, they truly believe. They believe they'll win. They'll win the day, and they can dictate their way forward and leave us behind. They're betting for the first time we won't respond to this inflection point in history. That we'll fail to rise to the occasion. But you've heard me say it a lot of times. It's never, ever been a good bet to bet against the American people. Never. I'm not being sentimental here, but think about what also unfolded in these critical decades. Great protest movement. Some of the nation fulfilled its promise of equity. We invested in something called DARPA, a program within the federal government that helped create the internet. But the challenge of today is one of economic competition. And they're given half a chance. There's nothing, not a single thing we can't achieve when we do it together. I know we can do this. Thank you. May God bless you. May God protect our troops. Let's get this done. Thank you.